This morning I'm going to can my pear preserves that I was working on last night. Matt helped me and we got them finished. So we ended up with a bowl. I've let it sit overnight. You can put it in the refrigerator if you want to. I just left mine sitting right here on the counter. And overnight you can see, let me get something you could be able to see. Because I mixed them with sugar, so overnight you can, I got a pear in that one, but you can see a lot of juice developed out of them. So that's what will make them so good, is that wonderful juice. And this recipe is in mine and Jim's cookbook, Celebrating Southern Appalachian Food. I'll put the link in the description. It's also on my blog though, you can find it. And interestingly, it's for many years, I shared it years and years ago on the blog. It was one of my most popular posts ever. It's because not many people, I guess, shared the recipe like this, and people were looking for something, the recipe similar to something that their mother, their grandmother, their aunt, or whoever made. And I've had a lot of people tell me over the years they tried it and it turned out that's what their husband remembered, or that's what they remembered from their childhood. So it really is a tasty recipe. But at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of them into my big pot here and put them on the stove and cook them for a little bit, 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. That kind of depends on your pears. Like mine are pretty hard, and I think this works better with harder pears. If they're soft, a lot of times they will just cook into nothing, you know, so you got to be careful about that. It'd still be good, but you'd end up with more like pear sauce than actually pear preserves. So you kind of have to massage that a little bit. And I'm going to put them in here though and cook them a little bit, and then we'll put them in the jars and I'll process them, and these will be ready to eat on a cold winter day. We probably won't wait for a cold winter day though. It's been so long since we had them. We'll be wanting to enjoy them really quickly. I'm going to use my, I know I'll make a mess, use my handy little dipper here to help me get started. And if you were making them and you didn't have enough liquid, you could definitely add just water, add a little bit of water, but you probably will. I've never had to add water, but your pears may not be as juicy, so I'm not sure. Maybe that's enough that I could get a spatula and get the rest without making a mess. I'm going to get these on to cook and then put them in the jars. I'm ready to start putting them in the jars. I have a video about apples, and I do them the same way. Apple preserves, they're really good too. And I'm sure you could do, thinking about peaches and probably anything like that. Just the same thing, cutting them up and putting sugar with them, letting them sit overnight as far as making preserves. The apple ones are really good though, and I like to do them. I didn't make none last year. Don't look like I'm going to make them this year either. But I love them. They're good just on biscuits or whatever, but also real good to put in a fried pie or a baked pie. A little bit of stuff on that one. I'm on my last jar, but I can't find a tap, so I'm going to have to use one of my large mouths instead. Ooh, and I got a little full in it. I think it'll be okay though. Just gonna leave it. I have just a little bit left. I'm gonna put them out in this little jar, but that means I'm gonna have to go in search of a lid. So I ended up with 7, is that right? 6, 7, 8. Well, counting the little bitty jar. So now I just need to process them. Aren't they pretty in the jars? Really pretty. And I tasted one of them. They're going to be delicious. I'm going to put them in and let them go for about 10 minutes. I have to set a timer or I'll never remember. I'll walk off and leave them. Looking for a big towel to cover them with. They turned out really pretty, so I know this will be good eating. And when I got my pears, I don't think I shared this in another video, I could tell, I figured they were locally grown. I found out after that from Corey, she'd been conversing back and forth with Patricia. They were actually grown here in Brasstown, so not that it matters. They would have been good no matter where they were grown. That just makes it a little bit more special though. So I'll leave these right here until they cool down, probably till tomorrow, or at least till later today. I've got some other stuff I'm going to do in the kitchen, so at least till later today. And they'll be ready to put on the shelf and enjoy this winter.
Do you need anything else from me? I'll come in here and help her. But I've got some of this deer meat Ira loves. I love potatoes. Ira also potatoes. Sorry.
Not much, why?
Okay. Will it make it to Corey's and back?
Well, you had to make it there and back, yep.
We're gonna go down and see Corey, we'll go back a little bit.
Alright.
put some apples that were hanging around my house, needed to be put up in some way in my roaster pan, my big roaster pan. I've also put some pears. Some more pears come my way. They're underneath it. I was thinking I would just use them all up and make some apple pear sauce, pear apple sauce. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to make the pear apple sauce, and then I'm going to turn that into pear apple butter. So this is the first step. I'm just going to let them all cook up. You can see all I've done is on the bottom I take off the little blossom end so that there won't be any specks in my stuff when it's finished. Then I just quarter them. I've left the peeling. I've left the seeds in the middle of them, as you can see. And then once these are all cooked up, I will put them through my ricer to get the sauce out, and then I'll worry about seasoning that up to make apple pear butter. My apples and pears have cooked into a soupy mess here, you can see. I'm going to start putting them in the ricer and get that wonderful pulp or sauce out of them. We're going to turn into pear apple sauce, apple pear sauce, whatever you want to call it. This is what I'm going to use to get the applesauce or pear sauce out. This is called a ricer. I've had it for years. Miss Cindy got it for me. It's got this cone shape. It's got little holes in it. It's got this mortar here that you just push. It's kind of like a food meal, but you know, this is the manner in which you get the food to come out. And as you do this, liquid comes out, but also pieces of the apple and the pears come out. And I just find it the easiest way to do this step, because you can do a lot at one time and then just add more. So I've got all the liquid out now. I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but now the thick pulp is starting to come out. And doing it this way, of course you could use a food meal too, anything like that, but it doesn't really matter that the seeds and the peelings and even the stems are still in there, because they're not going to go through, they're not little enough to go through those holes, so they'll stay within this cone. And then when it gets kind of packed down, I'll get a spoon and get that part out and then start again. It does it pretty quick. Grady made her applesauce. She always peeled them. Like, she started with just the apples, and that way she didn't have to do this step. I think doing them this way, I don't know, I think it just adds a little bit more flavor, and plus you get every little bit out of the peelings, you know, you get everything, all the goodness when you're boiling it, all the goodie, if you will, out of the apple or the pear in this case, since I'm using both. Of course, Granny's a better peeler than I am too. I'm not good at peeling with my hand. I get in too big of a hurry and I take part of the, whether it's apple, pear, potato, whatever, I take too much of it along with the peeling. And you can use a peeler, of course. Granny never did though. She just used a paring knife. And it's hard to use a peeler on something like a pear that's soft anyway, or an apple either. So that's about all of that. That's going to come out. Now I'm going to get me a bowl. You can see mostly all that's left is some seeds and some peelings there, but all of the pulp is pretty much gone, and I'll just keep doing this till I'm done with the apples and pears that I've been cooking. So I finished separating the apple pear sauce from the peelings and the pits and the seeds and all that. I've got it back into my roaster. I ended up with 8 quarts, so that's great. I had 8 quarts. I've added some sugar. This is some brown sugar there on top, and some cloves and some cinnamon. I don't have a specific recipe. Well, I do have one that that's from Granny. I can link to that in the description below. But this time I did it a little bit different because I added in that brown sugar too. I wanted to add that flavor. So I'm going to let this cook for probably overnight at least. And then I'll taste and I'll readjust if I need to, if I think it needs more sugar, if I think it needs more spices. And then I'll worry about putting it in the jars. But I'm so excited that I ended up with 8 quarts. That's just fantastic. And of course, with the sugar and all that, it'll be a little bit more than that. But it's going to be good. Today I'm finally going to put my pear apple butter, ever how you want to say it, in the jars. So I've been letting it cook down, and it's decreased quite a bit, so it's got really thick, which I think is good. That's what I wanted. So now I'm just going to put it in my jars. I've got my water bath canner over on the stove, and so once I've got it all jarred up, I'm going to water bath it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It is one of those things, apple butter, applesauce, it's extremely drippy and easy to make a mess with, and I'm the world's worst to make a mess anyway, so. I may have been ambitious with the number of jars I got, because I may not need quite as many as what I brought up and washed, but we'll see. I mostly brought up pint jars and jelly jars. Doesn't take long to fill up a jelly jar, for sure. I got it all put in jars. I ended up with 9 jelly jars and 9 pint jars. No, 9 jelly jars and 10 pint jars, so that's great. Of course, I'm going to have some on a little foldy here. Katie's going to have some with some crackers, she says, so. Got me some milk.
These saltines, I'm trying my
Here's
best to get
some
this
that's already,
out.
yeah,
Right,
it's okay. It's all right here.
Lord have mercy, I just couldn't
You
get.
want to put some on that?
Yeah.
Is that too much?
No, just lay it on there. It's
Yeah,
okay.
good.
I'll stick the whole thing in my mouth.
Okay, stick the whole thing and see what you think.
Mmm.
Ooh. It's good.
It tastes the way Christmas smells. It even tastes good on the saltine cracker, y'all.
I would like it with
Now, why are you eating it on a cracker?
some peanut butter. Or a buttered biscuit. I am having a little crunchy though. Do you feel any crunches in it? I think that come from the pears. You know how pears kind of have those little places?
Because the cracker itself is real crunchy, so.
Oh, well, you've not noticed. I mean, it's not bad, but
Could be, yeah, pears do that. Oh, sorry, that's a terrible sound.
it's good though. That bite didn't have any of them in it, so
I'm making a mess.
that's all right. I done made a mess.
I do feel the crunchies in my teeth. It don't bother me. Okay.
It may be the pears, so. But
Not
it
the cloves?
tastes wonderful.
Was the cloves powder? Did you use clove
Yeah,
powder?
they were just powder, but sometimes pears has those little places in them.
Oh, wow.
It's really good. Our favorite restaurant here, Julie's, they have biscuits and a little thing of apple butter. There's other restaurants that do that too, I know, but
Hello.
Binks has gained access to the top floor somehow. I must have left the basement open. I had plenty of jars the first go around. I thought I might have brought up too many. I used all them and then I had to go back downstairs and get some more. I did not use all them. I've got 4 left over there. So,
He won't come in here. He don't like this light.
yeah, he's afraid of the light. He'd go back downstairs. I didn't shut the door all the way.
He will, yeah. He don't really like
And Ira's asleep, so he's safe. So people worry that
Bakes will get after him.
or that I didn't shut the door and Ira
Oh,
go
yeah,
down the
Ira's
steps.
locked in his.
We
not
do
locked,
have
but shutting in my room with a screw.
have one of those little baby-proof things on the basement door and on the front door and the back door because Ira can now open doors.
Yes, he can. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He's quick, but Binks actually really likes Ira. He actually does really. Binks actually treats Ira a whole lot better than he treats me. I'm the one Binks likes to. He don't really scratch me hard but play, but he's actually been really gentle, really good with Ira. This is super delicious. I can see putting this on like a real hot, popping hot biscuit.
With some butter.
Dad would love that.
He'll be happy.
Yeah, we'll have to get him to try some after a while. Cool. Thanks for letting me try it. It's been smelling so good for the last little bit in the
Yeah, our
house.
whole house has smelled like Christmas for 2 days.
Every time I come through here, I'm like, oh. It made me think, this morning it made me think about Russian tea, about wanting to make some Russian tea.
Yeah.
It's the clove that made me think that.
Now, if I had just cut up the pears, there wouldn't be those little crunchy places. If I had, like, I just peeled them. I mean, I didn't peel them. I didn't do anything. I cut the blossom end out, and if it had a bad place, I cut it out, and I threw the whole pear in here. So all the seeds and all that was in there. I didn't think about that, but I still think it's good, and that's not as noticeable.
No, it's not bad at all.
No, but anyway, you might want to keep that in mind. If you decide to make apple pear butter, I don't know which sounds better, Katie, pear apple or apple pear.
I don't know. It seems about the same to me. Apple pear butter. Apple pear butter. I like that.
I'm very pleased with how it turned out though, and now I just gotta water bath it and I'll be done with this project. This is gonna have to soak probably for a while where it's caked on around the top, it's cooked on.
Oh yeah,
That's hard. It's gonna take a
That's
while.
on there. That's really on there.
It's time for me to check my apple pear butter and see if it all sealed. Truthfully, I usually leave it overnight, but truthfully this has been sitting here about 2 days, so I'm behind times on that, but I think they're all pretty sealed. And if you don't know if they're sealed, the middle has a give, so if it's not sealed, you can feel a little give to it, and that means it's not sealed. So these are all okay. So they turned out really pretty, didn't it? That was going to be really nice, really nice. So what I like to do is I take the lids off of most things and I like to write the date on them. If it's something obvious like this that I can tell, I'm going to look at that. Anybody in my family would look at that and say, hey, that's apple butter. They might not know the pear was in there, but they think that was apple butter. So I will only write 25 so that I'll know I made that in 25. If it was something that you couldn't really kind of tell what it was, if it wasn't easily, like the green beans, everybody here would know. But maybe if it was pickled beans or something, then I would write pickled on it. So if it's something that's hard to tell exactly what it is just by looking at the jar, I would write that on it. But for anything else, I just put the date. And I like to put the date because if you're not someone that puts up stuff, you may not know this, it doesn't go bad. Like this time next year, this won't be bad. But really this time, I mean the following year, it won't be bad. Canned stuff lasts longer than people assume, or maybe than experts tell you. So I like to know though, even for myself to remember, let's see, I made apple butter last year, so, you know, or it's been 3 years since I made it, or oh goodness, that's the last jar, and maybe it'll be 2027 by the time I make it again. That's just my method though. Lots of people have different methods. And I store my canning jars in the basement on a shelf, so then after I do this, I have to carry them downstairs. But this job will be complete, and we'll be able to enjoy this for the coming year, but probably even for the coming year after that too, because this is a lot of apple butter. Well, it will be interesting to see after the boys get even bigger and eat more. Already it seems like our food has had to increase. You know, you kind of know what your family will eat, but then of course, you know, if company comes or something like that, you have to plan for that. But then as new people enter your family, like when Austin and Corey got married, then I had to think about, well, Austin's here, I need more than just for the 4 of us that I feed. So in the same way, the boys are getting big enough to actually eat from the table, and well, they eat from the table most of the time, but actually make a dent in it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that will be, I may have to adjust what I've been used to putting up. It's time for Matt's annual climb on the roof and become a chimney sweep for a day.
Yep. Fun times.
We're kind of late doing it this year.
Yep.
What's Papa doing?
You ready?
I'm ready. He's on.
there, it just went into the stove pipe above the stove. I feel it.
Yeah.
It's tighter.
Yeah.
Mama.
Look at the leaves falling, Ira. Wee, 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 wee. Lots of leaves. Got it done.
It wasn't too dirty.
Just in time.
It's cold.
It's cold. We need a fire.
Let's go build one.
Now that Matt's done the outside work, we've already cleaned out the ashes here. Some of them were from the last time we had a fire, but I don't know if you can see up in there in the elbow, but a lot of stuff that he brushed out just gets stuck in that elbow. So he's going to use the vacuum cleaner to suck it all out. Ready for another winter?
Yep.